Ophelia Key speaks. Zines and Chapbooks, March 27, 2026. Dear reader, Zines and chapbooks have been on my radar for a long time. I love the idea of actually printing and compiling my own mini-books. The dream of creating a beautiful box to keep them in arrived as I ran across a company called Flower Letters recently. I had heard of scare mail and considered printed snail mail subscriptions, essentially stories and letters mailed out to our mailbox. The idea initially presented itself when I discovered that unless I collected some of my short stories and flash fiction pieces into a single volume, it wouldn't be possible to print them through my print-on-demand platforms. I would need to create chapbooks from cardstock and printer paper. I've even thought about compiling the fictional non-fiction articles that my research has produced into magazines or chapbooks to accompany the Dreyawith Saga's themes, characters, and tropes. But again, I would need to find an alternative way to print something like that. I lack the space to buy the high-end printer and other equipment necessary to print my own, and paying for a project like that at a small print shop or even an Office Depot would get too expensive. And storing the finished magazines and chapbooks would take up precious space in my home. These crazy ideas remain tantalizingly out of my reach. Perhaps someday they may still become part of the dream. And now a word from our sponsor, Ophelia Key. Shameless self-promotion. Thread, the entry point into the world of the dream. Unraveling chaos with each tattered thread. 1,000 years ago, chaos escaped into the dream. By 2016, shadowy evil forces using madness were wreaking havoc on the balance of magic and erasing necessary parts of an ancient prophecy. In danger of losing its magic, the dream attempts to use broken pieces and replacement parts to weave a new tapestry. Choosing the right building blocks isn't easy. In this exhilarating prequel tale, meet Luke and Eli, two characters with fascinating pasts and complicated secrets, before they become the king and queen the dream needs them to be. Luke Mendez is a retired military man. Having anxiety, he spies the beautiful girl next door, but then struggles to introduce himself. Eli Miller, the high school history teacher, worked tirelessly for years to break free from a terrible relationship. She moved to Tyler to start over. Thread is the story of a lonely dire wolf shifter and a lone tiger shifter in a time before the two of them meet each other. It sets the stage for a pack forms, an enthralling urban fantasy with a paranormal romance tale in the epic Dreyawith Saga by Ophelia Key. If you enjoy the story before the story, Thread is your free introduction to a new series. Welcome to the dream. Behind the scenes. The first week back at the day job is always soul-crushing. The early morning hours drain the life out of this old night owl, and the days are far too long to be tolerated. Teaching still pays the bills, and it may one day finance my ability to walk away and leave it all behind. Until it does though, I am once again forced to slow down. The dream expands only incrementally while I'm working, and I desperately yearn to return to the days when I was free to pursue my creative passions instead. Sigh. Life is what it is. I am thankful I have my job and can still pursue the world-building and character-driven stories of the Dreyawith Saga. While I was on spring break, I learned how to turn my lyrics into a song and posted it for sale on streaming services after I added it to opheliakey.com. Silk and Shadows, inspired by Thread, is now available for free. I posted it to YouTube and Substack as well, because why not? It won't be any easier to sell the music than it is to sell the stories or the art, but maybe that is one more avenue from which people may stumble into the dream. Either way, I'm having a blast with it and will carry on making music inspired by the stories from the dream. I hope you enjoy these glimpses behind the curtain into the wild craft of storytelling. It is with a singular vision that the dream was born, and I wish it to remain ever so. Graphic novel adaptations or scripts for anime-style films will one day be within my grasp, and I promise to share. Let the midnight shenanigans continue. The dream expands ever onward, and an old smoking tiger smiles. Thank you for stepping into the dream once more. If you are listening on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe for more original stories and audio adventures. Special thanks to OK Music Writers for Enter the Dream. I need to get back to edits and videos. Griffin Knight Redeemed is so close I can almost taste it. Leave your comments and questions. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this post worthy, please feel free to share it. I hope you have a lovely weekend and will discover a grand story. Please remember, when you read, be kind and leave your reviews. Until my next post, welcome to the dream. Be careful. Happy reading. Bye bye. Ophelia Key.